Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi everyone, welcome to second ASNET International Conference on Education, Social Science and Technology 2022. I am Nur Ismanidar as presenter, Azhar Maksum, Parapat Gultom and Rita Mutia as co-writers from the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Sumatera Utara, Medan, Indonesia. The title of article today is The Effect of Auditor Competence and Remote Audit Support on Audit Quality through Digital-Based Governance with Information Technology as Moderating Variable in State Financial Audit. For the introduction, coronavirus disease or COVID-19 pandemic has caused a multidimensional crisis globally. This health crisis was followed by a global financial crisis. With the spread of COVID-19, government and company policies that restrict travel and enforce social distancing have also resulted in audits being conducted without physical access to entity locations. This change dramatically affected auditors, who could no longer conduct audits as planned using traditional face-to-face methods. The audit function is affected and shifted to perform remote audits by performing audit procedures from the location to the audit using information and communication technology with analytical data to assess and report on the accuracy of financial data and internal control, collect electronic evidence, and interact with auditees. In this critical period, it is essential in the accounting profession globally. BPK auditors as supreme audit institutions must continue supporting quality in carrying out audit assignments. This has prompted BPK to improve the quality of the audits it produces. A quality audit will produce an opinion following the entity's actual conditions and will undoubtedly benefit its users. The audit is intended to provide a reasonable assurance that the financial statements are fairly presented in all material respects under the applicable financial reporting framework and regulatory framework. Opinions and reports on examination results are based on sufficient appropriate evidence. In 1981, the Engel defines audit quality as the auditor's ability to detect and report errors or fraud in the client's accounting information system. The auditor's likelihood of detecting fraud is related to the auditor's competence, while the auditor's likelihood of reporting fraud is related to auditor independence. The audit results in the form of audit findings by BPK indicate the ability of the auditor to detect errors contained in the financial statements, indicating the quality of the audit. The recapitulation of audit findings presented in Table 1.1 shows the inconsistency of increasing and decreasing the number of audit findings after implementing remote audits for local governments, ministries, institutions, and state-owned enterprise. The number of audit findings in 2019 decreased significantly from 4,000 findings or minus 6% from 2018. However, the details of audit findings showed an increase. They were very significant in 2020 by showing an increase in the audit findings to 7,000 or an increase of 47% compared to 2019, which also carried out the remote audit method in its examinations. For this reason, an on-site audit is sometimes a better choice for an assignment. Important considerations for choosing a remote or on-site audit are cost-saving, audit resources, type of procedure to be performed, type of evidence obtained remotely, communication security, and time. Remote auditing is not new, so some of its pros and cons are well understood. This paper aims to explore and conceptualize the effect of auditor competence and remote audit support on audit quality through digital-based governance with information technology as a moderating variable in state financial audits. The proposed method is a quantitative method with a population of auditors from the State Audit Board or BPK. It is hoped that this conceptual paper will provide insight and information for future empirical studies. And literature review, the Angelo defines audit quality as the auditor's probability of findings and reporting a violation in his client's accounting system. Nickel defines audit quality as a combination of an excellent systematic examination process, which follows generally accepted standards with an auditor's judgment. Du Bois and Rothwell defines competence as a characteristic possessed and used by individuals appropriately and consistently to achieve the desired performance to be more effective and efficient. According to ISO, remote auditing is the use of information and communication technology to collect, store, process, analyze, and transmit information, essentially replicating an on-site audit. The remote audit is an audit technique or method that is carried out virtually by utilizing one of the new technologies that will grow and dominate rapidly in the future. Information and communication technology is one of the essential characteristics of our times, and each new development changes our lives to some extent. Following the evolution of e-commerce in the private sector, electronic government appears to be the next generation of developments in the public sectors. In this study, the independent variable is proxied by the competence of the auditor and remote audit support so that it can have an effect because of the existence of intervening variables which are proxied by digital-based governance variables. The strength of the relationship between the independent variable, namely auditor competence, and remote audit support with the dependent variable, namely audit quality, through digital-based governance and information technology as moderating variable. This research has 5 variables and the indicators in each variable as shown on this table. And for the conclusion, this concept of the paper describes the framework of audit quality practice in state financial audits introduced in previous studies. Still, none of them connected to remote auditing through digital-based governance in the context of the audit process to produce audit quality. Advances in technology are used and continue to play an essential role in the evolution of the auditing profession. Massive technological developments such as cloud computing, social media, mobile technology, and data analysis have drastically changed the methods used in the audit process, which are directed to support audit quality improvement. Measurement of information technology is through the dimensions of the quality of hardware, software applications, telecommunications, and networks is used by auditors in carrying out their audit duties and functions. Therefore, it can be concluded that remote auditing may lead to the use of more innovative ways to conduct audits in the future, which may positively affect auditors being motivated to adapt more to new normal conditions. In addition, the deepening of this issue encouraged the adoption of remote auditing in organizations around the world. Further studies with an empirical approach are needed to develop audit quality and governance based on digital and remote audits. That's all my presentation, and thank you so much for your attention.